of all, I want to thank everyone for being here today. This has been a dream in the making. Sometimes we dream so much that our dreams kind of, fade away because, you have to work, you have to go to school, you have to pay bills. So sometimes your passion kind of fades away. But this has been something that has been a dream of mine. I didn't know I was a poet until I was about 9, 10 years old. And my dad died when I was 9, so I didn't know how to express a lot of that, pain. And so I just started writing random thoughts. And in the 7th grade, one of my teachers, I wouldn't pay attention in English class. I was just like dwindling away and writing like some really morbid stuff, But she read it and she was like, "You're a poet." And I'm like, "No, I'm like, they're fragmented sentences. I'm just bored." And she's like, "No, you really are a poet." The book is on Amazon. I started it. It's Obsidian Blades. The reason it's called Obsidian Blades, and the picture looks kind of crazy, obsidian's coming out of my mouth. But obsidian to our ancestors was a symbol of defense. A lot of the warriors use this, so it's defending yourself, it's attacking the enemy. And so Obsidian Blades, the reason why I chose the title was because I want my poetry to slice away at white supremacy, at the lies that we are told, at all this bullshit that we're told in school. I want my poetry to be somewhat of a weapon against this culture, but also to help our people see, a lot of this anger, people say, "Oh, you're so angry." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm fucking pissed, but at the same time, I have a lot of love, being angry doesn't mean that it robs you of being a loving person, a caring person, a compassionate person. Behind that anger, there's a lot of love. And anybody that knows me knows that I give it all, and I give it all, and especially when it comes to my people, that's my love, my passion, my goal in life is to help our people, for us to help each other out. We're missing that in our community. And so to me, this book, I want to help fight white supremacy, fight all these attacks against our people. This is my dream, and that's what this title means, Obsidian Blades. Last year, I did it as an ebook, and I kept working on it and working on it. A lot of people were like, "Well, it's cool to read it online, but it's nice to have the actual hard copy." So that inspired me to go back online and say, "You know what, I really do need to make this an official print book." So it wasn't until this year that I finally felt ready to publish it. And so it's Obsidian Blades, it's on Amazon, it's on CreateSpace, it's $25. I do have copies here today, so if you guys are interested, at the end of our poetry reading, I'll kind of stand over here if you guys want to get a copy yourself. It's $25. I can sign it for you. We're going to be taking pictures, but it's here. And I am working on another book. I'm working on memoirs of things that I grew up with, things I see. One thing that's missing from our culture is talking about the racism in our experiences. A lot of the times in our families, the racism that we experience, the doubt that we experience, the identity crisis that we experience with this whole Hispanic and Latino bullshit. So, it's to deal with that issue, the stories that I have to tell about what I dealt with as a little girl, people I've met and all that. So that's in the works. With all that said and done, I want to get this started. Like I said, this is a poetry book, so I want to make sure that I have as much poets come out. My first poet is Huitzilyolotl. He is a member of the Mexico movement. This is his actual first time debuting his poetry.
My name is Huitzilyolotl, and I just want to say that I'm really proud of Citlalli. It's an honor to be here to read to you guys. When she asked me to share my poetry, it's like, okay, I can do that. So it's really encouraging. I mean, she's actually one of my mentors too. We had the same mentors, but I want to include her in that. I mean, she inspires me to write. She's a big inspiration for me. So, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for her and for her work and what she's done, and with her creativity, with her knowledge and her wisdom and her guidance, like I wouldn't be able to express myself the way I am doing now. And I've always liked to write, but when I was younger, I used to write stories, but I never really pursued it. And so when I met the Mexico movement like 5 years ago, I was learning my history, learning who I was, and it just inspired me just to write again. And so I'm like her, like, I don't know, poet's son, I guess. So I'm a reflection of her work and what has she's done. So so my first poem, actually I was reading her book, and she had a photo of her grandmother, and for some reason, looking at that photo, it just sparked like these seeds of creativity in my mind. I also about my own grandfather, and I have this picture of him, me, and my father, and and he looks really sad, and so I don't know, it just inspired this poem that I'm about to read. That just based on what I saw in her book. So the first poem is called "Sad, Obsidian Eyes." Dark, piercing, sad, obsidian eyes, reflecting my own. I wonder what's inside your mind. You're proud to be Indian, but what did that mean? They told me you'll build a bonfire in the backyard and chant and cry. What was in your heart? My cousins will tell me you would grab all the grandchildren and sing and dance like an Indian for them. What were you singing? War or creation songs? What kind of dance were you doing? A dance to honor the motion of the universe? They told me you were a drunk and would abuse my grandmother, yet you saved her as she was a victim of an Indian removal act in a form of deportation to Mexico despite being an American citizen. A broken man working for the white man's ranch on your own land, robbed of his manhood, stripped away of his dignity, denied of his full potential as a human being. Is that why you will cry when you thought no one was around in your solitude? I know in your mind you knew something was wrong, that your mind couldn't comprehend out of your ignorance. The European invasion, the genocide, the theft of lands, the destruction of our civilization and entire culture, born on the Pala Reservation in San Diego, California. Why would you proclaim to the world you were Pala Nicantlaca when everyone else was in denial? I remember you speaking to me in Spanish and English, even though I wish you were speaking to me in our own native language. You died when I was a child, before I came into my Nicantlaca being. I wish I was given one more day with you now, to share with you what I'm learning, and for you to share your knowledge with me. Oh, grandfather, I want to teach you all of our advanced accomplishments, starting with the biological engineering of corn. Did you know that our great ancestor, a Pami chief of the California coast, who told the Europeans to get the fuck out of our country? I want you to leave this earth again and return to the universe a proud Nicantlaca man. To know that your pride wasn't in vain. You taught my father to be proud of who he was. What did you teach him? I want you to know I am carrying on your legacy, proclaiming to the world who I am in an educated way, filled with liberation and knowledge, with liberation on my mind. I love you, Grandpa, because when I see you, I not only see my ancestors staring back at me, but my future descendants as well.
I'm going to have Vero Agustin. She's a great friend of mine, and she's agreed to read one of my poems. She actually has been part of my projects going way back. She's one of my models on one of my videos that I have. She's done some of the voices on my videos. She's an amazing person, an amazing mom. She's one of the first from our little group of friends that had a child. So, and we have Candy over here as well. So she's going to share with us. She's going to read some of my poetry because I don't want to bore you guys talking the whole night. So I feel it's important to have other voices come out. So Vero, thank you so much for coming out and letting me hear your voice. Thank you.
And just to share also, I was witness of Citlalli up all night. She would wake me up, Vero, you have to listen to this. So she's been working on this for a long time. I've known Citlalli for about 10 years, more, I don't know, for a long time. And I lived with her, she was my roommate for a few years. And I've gone to know her, and I've seen her stay up at night writing and rewriting and sharing with me a lot of the pieces of this book. And I just want to tell you thank you. It's been an honor for me.
Oh.
Okay. Well, this one, if you guys are gonna buy a book, just to share. There's a beautiful little girl here that is my daughter, Miss Monse. Just want to share. And this is a poem to be read after our liberation, okay? Okay. Let's fast forward to the time when we are free. Let's fast forward to a classroom where our children are no longer put back to sleep. Let's fast forward to Anahuac nation, our people free from occupation. I want this poem to be read when we are no longer living dead. I want this poem to be read when we are free from self-hate. We are no longer allow ourselves to be called Hispanic, Latino, Raza, and Mestizo. We are again back our independence and still look out for all others. I want this poem to be read when our little girls no longer question their beauty, when they look in the mirror and love what they see, when the media represents who we are without any fallacy. I want this poem to be read generations to come, when we have the right to walk all over our lands freely, when the Constitution reflects our cultural rights, our citizenship rights, and our citizens. When we speak our languages, Nahuatl becomes the national one. I want this poem to be read when it needs to be translated, because we no longer speak as slaves of Europeans. I want this poem to be read in a classroom, surrounded by proud, beautiful Nicantaca youth. Surrounded by proud Nicantaca youth. I want this poem to be read as we build alliances with all our free nations. I want this poem to be read as my sisters and brothers no longer oppress each other with machismo and feminismo. When that isn't needed, when we create our own future. I want this poem to be read when we are not limited to our potential cultural centers are built in our city. We know how we are just like very proud ethnicity. I want this poem to be read by my great-great-grandchildren who will remember their grandma and they will be proud of me. I thought about them before I even had my first child. I want this poem to be read when we rise from the dead and break from the graves of the cells overhead. I want this poem to be read when the whole world acknowledges the genocide that takes place 5 centuries hidden from the memory of our collective history. I want this poem to be read long after I am dead, because I know that I will live on in the hearts of our people, and at this time that I was placed in. I want this poem to be read when we no longer are led by white supremacy in our jobs, in our homes, and in our institutions. I want this poem to be read. I want this poem to be felt. I want this poem to be sang. I want this poem to be whispered. I want this poem to be a memory of our current condition.
You never really imagined this coming out like this, because it's so radical for people, it's so crazy for people. So to actually have something like this, it really inspires me, because it's like, well, I'm not crazy, this is real, this is the truth, Our next poet and last poet before I read my poem is my sister Jennifer Juarez. She's also a member of the organization Michigan Movement.
I just want to say I'm very proud of Citlalli. Watching her accomplishments and her dreams come true is very, I'm very glad to be able to see that happen, because it's very rare that you get to see what people's dreams unfold right in front of you. And I'm very proud of her, and I just want her to know that. Okay, I'll be reading Multiple Hearts. I have multiple hearts. My heart was under a microscope. Sliced open, it dripped blood. Cut in 4 slices, and still it kept beating. And still I kept breathing. The black mud was poured out, and it still had its beat. It still bled. They kept slicing, and like cotton candy, it was just fluffy, red, and beating. They dissected it, dug into my arteries, and it still bled. I was not dead. I just laid there with my eyes open, and the cold air just blew through my hair. I was alone in the night, staring up at the moon. As they kept dissecting my heart, I could not fight. The coldness of their thoughts just kept tearing and slicing my flesh. Looking for robots, looking for secret maps, and they did not find anything but blood and pieces of turquoise. pieces of memories that remain stuck permanent like a tattoo on my heart. They could not tear that apart, and frustrated they ran away, frustrated because it wasn't there. Sliced into 4 pieces, bleeding, the mud poured out. Glistening in the presence of stars, they did not get far. I had more hearts stored away in my mind, and I recreated them every time one dies. So they dissected and only inspected the physical one in my chest. Meanwhile, my real hearts flowed in my soul. Like a fish in a tank, like oil on water, like leaves at the park.
Para cerrar, este poema se llama Reclamando. Y él era como un rap, pero no me siento como rapeando ahorita. Suena como un rap. Dice Reclamando. Pase lo que pase, le cueste que le cueste, estamos reclamando nuestro bello continente, caminando nuestras tierras diariamente, creando la conciencia que libera nuestras mentes. Estamos conscientes que cada pulgada de este continente nos pertenece. Cada verdad que aprendemos nos fortalece. Con cada protesta y marcha, nuestra valentía crece. Pase lo que pase, le cueste que le cueste, estamos reclamando nuestro bello continente. Somos indígenas, nuestra identidad es migantlaca, no somos gabachos, anglosajones, ni americanos. Nuestros héroes no son Washington ni Lincoln, no somos demócratas, no somos republicanos. Somos una nación bajo la ocupación, somos los dueños de lo que tanto desean reclamar. Pero digan lo que digan y lloren lo que lloren, esta tierra no se la van a quedar. El nombre de América se cambiará. Anahuac, Semanahuac, nación de los originales, regresará. Esta justicia será con educación y acción. Nos la llevaremos con calma. Será una revolución llena de armas mentales. No se trata de convertirnos en lo que fueron ellos y usar armas fatales. Las balas no matan la verdad. La violencia más efectuosa es la que nunca se usará. Nuestra presencia demuestra la esencia, es el momento de la resistencia. Después de 500 años hemos sobrevivido el plan de genocidio. Hemos demostrado que nuestra lucha no se quedó en el olvido. Pase lo que pase y le cueste que le cueste, estamos reclamando nuestro bello continente. Seguimos estudiando nuestra herencia entera, mientras ellos se esconden detrás de su pinche bandera, sangrando con nuestra sangre, manchando su himno nacional. Esta realidad no se queda evitar, no la pueden evitar. Diariamente nos gritan que somos ilegales, cuando la verdad es que les quema que nosotros somos los originales. Los ilegales criminales son los europeos invasores, ocupando nuestras tierras por más de 500 años, y a nosotros nos dicen los mojados, sacateando nuestros recursos y violando a las menores. Esto no es América, eso es Semanahuac. Somos las hijas y hijos de Citlalli y Huitzilyolotl, de Cuauhtémoc, de Zapata. Pase lo que pase, le cueste quien le cueste, estamos reclamando nuestro bello continente. Estamos exponiendo la verdad escondida, regresando la verdad a nuestras vidas. Mexicanos, centroamericanos, sudamericanos, nativoamericanos, somos hermanos, divididos por las fronteras de los europeos. Dividieron nuestras tierras y esclavizaron a nuestros pueblos. ¿Y qué? ¿Quiere que nos levantemos ni un pinche dedo? Pero ya está oliendo su pinche pedo. Las mentiras pudren el alma. Como desean que odiemos nuestros orígenes y regalemos nuestra libertad. Están equivocados, eso nunca la tendrá. Pero estamos regresando a lo que nos pertenece, estamos reclamando lo que el europeo no le merece, reclamando nuestra humanidad, rechazando la brutalidad colonialista. Somos una nueva generación que está lista marchando al ritmo de la liberación, viviendo una lucha con dedicación. Pase lo que pase, le cueste quien le cueste, estamos reclamando nuestro bello continente. Pase lo que pase, le cueste quien le cueste, estamos reclamando nuestro bello continente. Denunciando los términos colonizadores, hispano, latino, raza y mestizo. Esos términos son un pinche hechizo. Es el nuevo plan que han establecido. Es un hechizo que no tiene oficio. Somos indígenas, sangre pura, sangre mezclada, pero somos indígenas. Somos micantlaca de todos los colores, sangre pura, mezclada, somos indígenas. De nuestra identidad solamente nosotros somos los autores. Guerrilleras y guerrilleros con armas de la mente, educando a nuestra gente diariamente. Creadores de civilizaciones originales. El maíz dio luz a nuestro país. Pero en ignorancia ignoramos la verdad que está ahí. Fuimos la gente más educada del mundo. Ahora nos quieren atarantar con Univisión y Telemundo. Pero te lo aseguro, que pase lo que pase, cueste quien le cueste, estamos reclamando nuestro bello continente. Estamos alzando las caras y nuestras almas para demostrarle al mundo que seguiremos en resistencia. La calma se muere cuando la paciencia te mata. Escucha el corazón latiendo en tu pecho. Es la presencia de Emiliano Zapata. Pase lo que pase y le cueste quien le cueste, estamos reclamando nuestro bello continente. Pase lo que pase y le cueste quien le cueste, estamos reclamando nuestro bello continente. Pase lo que pase, le cueste quien le cueste, estamos reclamando nuestro bello continente. Again, thank you so much for coming. This means a lot to me. I didn't ever imagine that this would happen, but it is here, and I'm doing my best to appreciate it with everything that I have. So again, thank you very much, and enjoy the rest of your night. Thank you.